Um, Not sure how this video is gonna go, but when I started this journey, I promised myself and you that I would be as transparent as possible. So, I'm just gonna be honest about what I'm experiencing today and what it feels like to try to move through my whole, like I talk about how often, is being uncomfortable, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. And this is a very uncomfortable moment right now. But I wanted to show it to you so that you could see again my level of authenticity when I talk about these subjects, and that this trying to make a career change is a challenge. So, it was not my intention to get on here and cry. The tears just started as soon as I pressed go live, which sucks. But it's like you try something, you work at something so hard, and you keep going and going, and it feels like you take one step forward and 3 steps back, and you just don't have any answers as to what to do next. Because what you think you're doing it works for a minute, and then you're hit with something that doesn't work, and you just don't know what to do, and you just feel like paralyzed. So I thought this project was going to come through, and it didn't, which makes, you start thinking about all these different things about what could have happened, and had that project happen, these questions should be answered, and you wouldn't have to worry about this thing or that thing, and it's really stressful. And I know that so many people struggle with this, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're in your jobs. And although, life is great, and I recognize that, shit is gonna happen, it's still painful, and it's still, you're disappointed. And I just come to you just because I just want to be authentic. I just want to be transparent, and so you can see that, I hear all this time, oh, you're my Kim, you inspire me, and all these things, but people don't know what it takes for me. I can't speak for anybody else to get to that point where I'm on the stage, I'm speaking these things, when I'm telling my truth, when I'm speaking for others, and yet time and time again, I try something, and it just doesn't work out sometimes, and it's disheartening. And then, as I learn more and more about privilege, I have to admit this part, there becomes this thing of, with as much experience and as much knowledge that I have, would I be struggling if I was not both underrepresented and of a marginalized community? Would things not be as challenging for me if I were a white man or a white female? Because so many people, as I've spoken in my conferences, because like when I'm talking, I usually put my credentials up right after my name, just because people would question what I know and who I am. And there's so many white guys who've said, oh my God, that's so sad, because no one ever asked me what I know. They just assume if I tell them that that's that. And I don't have your credentials, and I don't even have your knowledge, but yet I'm employed and I get paid well, and all these other things. And it's just, and again, me just being transparent here, I really am struggling with not being angry. I'm really having a hard time not saying fuck it Because I see why so many people from underrepresented and marginalized communities are so angry with privilege, with people who have privilege. And I see how toxic that is. I see how debilitating that is. But I can see how it happens because I know that if I were not, so I'm not even going to ask the question, because I know that if I had half the credentials and half the knowledge I have, if I were a person of privilege, I would not be in the situations that I'm in. I would not be wondering, will I have, not to say that building a business doesn't struggle and everything else, but I would have more network. I would have more people making opportunities for me. When you go to a Harvard or a Stanford or Yale as a person of color, as a person of privilege, you go there for the network so that you don't, so when you need something or when you need something, you need to connect with somebody, there's somebody who just knows you and will do that for you. I'm having to do that, like many people from underrepresented and marginalized communities, from scratch. And it's hard. It's really hard. I've only been in this industry since 2014. And I'm only in it because, as I said before, when my father passed away, I thought my dad passing away would kill me. When it didn't, I just made the decision that I was no longer be unhappy as an educator, but I was gonna, figure this tech thing out. And in this short time, I have these skills, I have this ability to help these communities and organizations, and yet I still feel that no matter what I do, it's not good enough, and it's really disheartening. So I just wanted to talk about that today, and just know that this is cathartic for me. But if it helps someone else out there who's just at questioning, is it worth it? I'm going to say not from my heart right now because I'm not feeling it, but in my head, I know it's worth it. I know that I have no plan B because nothing else makes me happy. I love what I'm doing. And so take from this video whatever you take from it or not. I don't give a damn at this point. I'm just going to go back and get back in the bed, put the covers over my head, and watch something on Netflix, Hulu, YouTube Live or something. Because today this is just what it is. And thankfully, I have a belief system that allows me to understand that things ebb and flow. And today, what I'm feeling today won't last forever. And that there's something that I need to learn from this. But again, this is just me. And I thought that people need to see somebody being really honest about this journey, and not, because everything isn't sunshines and roses. And so thank you. Have a good day.